So I know many of you guys out there are kind of struggling with what the heck's going on with the market right now. What needs to be done? Are we going back up? Are we going back down? What's the Fed going to do? What's going on with the government? What's going on with all these different companies' earnings? I mean, we're getting a complete mixed bag and mixed signals all the way around with all that. The problem is you need to change your portfolio right now, today, and that's exactly what we're going to discuss. In sports, I mean, you can't just trot the same players out every time and expect to see the same exact results you got from the prior year. I mean, rules change, the players change. Everything in the world changes. Now, does that mean you need to change your entire roster? Well, in some cases, yeah, you actually do need to overhaul your whole roster. And even if you won the championship last year, you still need to make tweaks and changes to your roster in order to come back even better this time around. So that's exactly what we're going to discuss today. We're going to cover that whole spectrum. If you need to change your entire roster or just part of your roster, we'll talk about the changes you need to make to get the most out of your portfolio right now. I just ask in exchange for you to gently tap that like button and consider subscribing too. It's super easy to do if you like the truth without the hype. So there are 5 changes you need to make to your portfolio right now today. And the last one is absolutely critical, guys. Even if you don't want to do the other 4, okay, I get it. I think you should do them too. But even if those aren't important to you, you absolutely need to get the last one right. So the first change you need to make is to clean up your portfolio. Seems like a lot of people have kind of accumulated a lot of stocks over the past few years. Now, whether that was from chasing the latest hype stock, to, I don't know, whatever the heck else got hot in the moment, maybe just not understanding investing. So, jumping onto this stock and then onto this stock, whatever the scenario is. And obviously some of them have paid off. Some of them have absolutely not paid off at all. But the point being, you need to absolutely look at getting rid of some stocks in your portfolio. You need to change that makeup of your portfolio. We've had several people just in my group join and had more than 100 stocks in their portfolio. There's no way you can keep track of all those. There's no way you're doing the proper due diligence, listening to all their earnings calls, diving through all the numbers and everything else. So for a lot of folks, there's a lot of junk in their portfolio that they may not even know why they own. They may have forgotten that they owned it, or a variety of other reasons like that. And you need to go through and kind of do that audit and basically clean up and clean out that portfolio. And yes, in our group, we actually got all those individuals down to, from 100 plus stocks, or some cases, I think we had somebody that had 200. I can't really remember off the top of my head right now. Something crazy. I don't know how the heck you keep up with all of it, much less understand all of it and everything else. But the point being, we were able to get them down from those numbers down to just a handful of core positions that they feel very, very strongly about, not only now, but in the future. It matches their plan, matches, where they want to go long term, all those sort of things like that. And if you need that sort of help and you can't figure out how to do it and do valuations and everything else, make sure you check out the sale that's going on right now for my group, where you get to use the stock analyzer tool for free. You get to take 5 courses for free. You get to have a group of 6 and 7 figure investors, all of us helping you kind of figure out this whole portfolio gig that's going on, and just so much more, guys. Check out the pinned comment down there and see everything that's involved. And I challenge you to find a group that actually has more for less money there. And again, the sale is going to end soon. And when it does, the price is going to go up forever. So make sure you take advantage of it right now before it actually gets there. So the second change you need to make to your portfolio is you need to change the levels of risk in your portfolio to match exactly what your actual risk tolerance is and what you can live with and what you can honestly sleep with in the end in regards to your stock market portfolio. I've seen way too many portfolios of folks who have way too risky of a portfolio. I mean, they essentially have a portfolio of 10 stocks and they got 8 spec plays. And then out of those speculative plays, they got 8 of those, their 2 safe stocks are basically like Tesla and Palantir, which that portfolio makeup is ultra risky. And a lot of folks don't understand the risk that's actually in their portfolio. Now, to be clear, I'm not bashing Tesla or Palantir as bad stocks or anything else like that. I own both of them. I own a lot of shares of both of them, and I absolutely love the stocks. But I have plenty of other safe stocks, actual safe stocks, like a Microsoft, like an Apple, like all the dividend plays that I own, and a lot of other stocks that provide me that kind of safety to where I can afford to live with the swings, of Tesla going up to $400 and all the way down to $100 and then back up to, to something right now where it's at. And same thing with Palantir, from, I don't know, $6 all the way up to, almost, 15, 16, 17, 18. And then back, actually, I think we almost got 20. And then back down, to where we're back down to 15 or so. And let's kind of see where it all falls out in the end. But the point being, those are completely different risk profiles in regards to my portfolio or a lot of other folks who have a proper risk mitigation strategy and a portfolio that's basically full of speculative plays where, you think Tesla is your safest stock. Now, I'm not saying Tesla in terms of returns or anything else isn't going to be great long term. And obviously, I think it's going to return better over the long run than an Apple per se or Microsoft or one of those. I agree there completely. But in terms of the risk profile, I'm not sure a lot of folks understand how risky their portfolio actually is. And, especially we've got a lot of folks here. Hey, I'm looking to retire in 10 years, 15 years from now, and having a whole bunch of speculative plays in your portfolio may not be the right mix for you. So you've got to make sure that when you're looking at your portfolio and you're looking at it right now today, that you have the appropriate risk profile. I mean, if your entire portfolio went down 50% tomorrow, would you be okay with that risk profile, or would that really bother you and keep you up at night? And that's important, guys. One of the most important things with your investing is being able to just sleep at night and being able to live with the ups and the downs of your portfolio. So if you're not okay with wild swings like that, or if you're getting close to retirement or a lot of other things like that, you might not want to be in those high spec plays or a lot of other penny stock stuff or any of the other stuff that was out there that was super popular in 2020, 2021. You want to make sure you clean a lot of that risk out of your portfolio. So number 3 would be you need to change your outlook on money and the amount of money that you put into your portfolio. You can't grow and build real long-term wealth if you haven't mastered your money first off, and then second off, you're consistently investing over a period of years and decades. That is how wealth is built. Everybody kind of has in their mind that it's kind of this one shot, I'm going to put $10,000 in the market and it's going to be worth 10 million one day. And that's not how wealth is built by the vast majority of investors. I understand some folks put a bunch of money into Tesla, 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, whatever the case was, way back 2000, I don't know, 14, 15, whatever the case was. And it turned into that stock and made them that sort of money. But that's abnormal. That is not how the vast majority of wealth in the stock market is built. It is built by consistently investing day in and day out, month in and month out, over a course of years and decades. That is how wealth is built in the stock market over the long run. Heck, look at your budget. Look at the money you're spending. Take on a side hustle, house hack. There's 1,000 different ways to actually save or have more money to invest, and just start with an extra $100. Hey, each pay period, or when that side hustle pays you a little bit, you get a raise, whatever the case is, put that money right into your portfolio. Get used to, investing consistently on that schedule there, and grow that pot, right? You start off with $100, that's great. Then 150, then 200. Slowly work your way up there to where before you know it, you're investing $1,000 a month, maybe $2,000 a month or more, depending upon how aggressive you get with actually, mastering your money, actually learning to control what's coming in and out of your account, and not your portfolio account, but in regards to your bank account there. So that way you're able to continue to build that wealth and build up that pot of money that continues to feed your stocks over the long run. So it's perfectly okay to start small and kind of build up from there, but make sure you are steady and consistent with this month in and month out, and looking to improve this every single month. All right, so 2 more to go. And the last one is obviously critical, the most important, guys, but that doesn't mean number 4 is not important either. So let's jump ahead to number 4. And that would be, you need to change the mix of stocks that you own to match your goals. And guys, I'm just going to speak from personal experience here in my group, because that's the best way to illustrate this. We have people in my group that are, young, in their 20s. They want to grow their portfolios to multi-million-dollar portfolios, but they own stocks like GE. They own stocks like, Microsoft. They own stocks, like basically old man style stocks, Coca-Cola, some stocks like that. And I'm not saying they're not great stocks, but if your goal is to build out, several $1,000,000 worth of wealth over the course of time, putting your money towards maybe a Tesla, maybe a Palantir, maybe another growth type company that has a long way ahead of itself is a much better play for somebody in their 20s that wants to have that sort of a large portfolio, have a little bit of money turn into a lot of money over the long run. So if you're loaded up full of stocks like GE and the like, and Disney and a lot of other stocks like that, and I'm not saying there's not money to be made there and there's not a play there, but if that's what you're loading up on, you're most likely not going to hit your goals in the first place. And then the exact opposite applies too, because we got a lot of folks who are near retirement, close to retirement, or maybe they are retired and they're just looking strictly for some passive income there. And they should be buying dividend stocks. They should be taking a look at REITs. They should not be, gambling with penny stocks and stuff like that. I mean, if your goal is income, then, obviously a penny stock is probably never going to get you there. So I don't see the point in buying stocks like that. So if you don't have goals, well, that's problem right there. Make sure you're setting those goals first. And then after that, if the mix of stocks that you own does not align with your goals and is not going to get you to your goals, then you need to change the mix of stocks in your portfolio. And finally, on to number 5 and the last one, and it's the biggest change you need to make to your portfolio. And I've seen it crush thousands of people, guys. Like, this is literally probably the biggest killer of people's portfolios. And that would be, you need to stop looking at your portfolio every day, every week, or every month even. Because the moment you look at your portfolio, you immediately evoke emotions. And just think about last year. I didn't look at my portfolio once last year as we were kind of going through this whole downturn and everything was a mess, because I knew the money that I had, quote unquote, lost in terms of being down was ugly. It was stupid ugly. It was a significant amount of money that probably would have made me sick and would have had me questioning what I'm doing. Why am I buying the dip on all these stocks? Why am I buying Meta at 80? Why am I buying Google in the 80s and Amazon in the 80s and Palantir in the 5s and 6s? Why am I buying all these stocks just for them to continue to get beaten down even further than what they were when I bought them? Which, of course, that always happens to me, right? Whenever I buy them, they always go lower. If I had looked at my portfolio and seen that number, I would have been questioning every one of those decisions. But because I wasn't, it was so easy to put more money into the stock market than I've ever put in the stock market in the history of my life. I know I'm not that old, but anyways, the point being, I put more money in the stock market than I ever had because I had no idea what that number was and I didn't care. I just knew there were screaming discounts sitting out there. And as long as Wall Street wanted to give them to me, I was doing everything I could, pulling cash from all kinds of places to continue to invest in that market. So that way, when it ran, and I didn't expect it to run at the beginning of 2023 as fast as it did, but when it did run, I stood to make a lot more money on the back end. But I was able to do that confidently and effectively without any emotion at all because I had no idea how much I was down. I'm not going to go back and try to figure it out either, just like I'm not going to go there today and try to figure out how much I'm really up. The only way I find out is usually by accident whenever I screw up logging into my account. It's usually the only way I end up seeing an actual number there. I actually have 5 different portfolios that I mess with. So that right there is something that I make a conscious effort to have everything set up to where I don't ever see that number. I don't ever see the balances. I don't ever see any of that. I stopped looking at my portfolio because I found the only thing it does is induce emotions. Either I see a huge number and I think I'm really cool and I'm really smart, and that's a dangerous situation to be in as an investor because it basically takes your edge off and you're not that cool and you're not that smart, and the market's going to correct you very, very quickly, which I think a lot of folks learned that lesson in 2020, 2021, whenever 2022 hit. And then secondly, I also don't want to be down in the dumpsters and start questioning investing in general or my decision making in general just because I'm down because the market gets stupid in general or because there's some giant macro event that creates a scenario to where stocks are down. I need to be laser focused on buying great stocks and figuring out where the great deals are and not worried about what my portfolio is doing today. Am I up? Am I down? Is that number big? Is it small? Oh my gosh, whatever the case is, all it's doing is just evoking emotions, and I don't need investing. I don't need emotions. If I could get the words right, I don't need emotions in my investing at all. So stop looking at your portfolio, most importantly. And if you need help with all these concepts, guys, I completely understand. That's exactly what the group is for. It's on sale right now, and that price is going to go up forever. And I know that that kind of sucks, but I got to do it in order to pay for a lot of the things that are going on within the group and a lot of the future things that are coming to the group. But you do get 5 courses for free. You get access to my buy and sell alerts in real time. You get my watch list complete with price targets. You get to take 5 courses for free. You get, basically that stock analyzer tool we just talked about. I put tons of exclusive videos in there every week, 3, 4, 5 of them a week. We do live Q&As. There's so much in there. Just check out the pinned comment down there and see if the membership's right for you. And click this video here if you want to see exactly what I'm buying in this market. And click here to see my exact plan for this market. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.